Welcome to the Circus Education and Industry Survey. We want to hear from the companies, organizations, programs, schools, individual workers, and other institutions and businesses that are spreading the love of circus in the United States. Whether you run a circus school or program, work as an individual performer, teaching artist, or circus contract worker, or own a circus performance production company, we want to hear from you. You matter, be counted. Every 2 years, the American Circus Educators Association, or ACE, runs a voluntary survey to collect information about circus education in the USA. ACE is a branch of the American Circus Organization, AYCO. This year, AYCO is collaborating with the American Circus Alliance, or the ACA, to expand the survey to also gather information about the U.S. circus performance sector. The goal of the survey is to get as complete account as possible of all circus educators, companies, and workers in the United States. ACE, AYCO, and ACA will use this information to advocate for the circus industry. We know that circus education and performance have a huge impact on the lives of those who work in the industry, but to make a case for our impact on the economy and vitality of our greater communities, we need hard numbers. This survey will be open from April 1st through May 30th, 2022. If you would like additional information about the survey or to view a preview of the full survey, please visit the links that I will include in the show notes of this episode. I want to say that I am co-chair of the American Circus Alliance Advocacy Committee. I was a part of creating this circus industry survey, and so it is very near and dear to me. It doesn't matter how much you do circus, how little you do circus, what type of circus role you have in circus. We want every single person to be counted. That is how we are going to make a better and stronger case for legislative power within Washington, D.C. for circus artists and for circus workers. I continue to say that because there has been a little bit of confusion about what the survey is for and who the survey is for. And so just to remind again, even if you've made, $1 from circus or you make no money from circus, you teach on the side, you're a hobbyist, you're an enthusiast, you haven't been in circus for very long. You've been in circus for a very long time. This survey is for you. If you're a director in circus, a choreographer, an event producer, a tech person, if you do lighting for circus, if you build props for circus, if you do rigging for circus, if you are a dancer in circus, if you do stunts, but also do circus, this is for you. We want to cover anyone that makes costumes. If you are a costume designer, if you are a creative director for circus, every single aspect of circus, we want to include in this survey. It is so, so, so important. I hope that makes sense to all of my listeners. I really appreciate you for tuning in to this episode of the Live Like an Acrobat podcast. And I will continue to shout out the Circus Industry Survey of 2022 for every subsequent episode to make sure that we send this out to as many circus workers in America as much as possible, no matter what your status here. If you are a resident of America, if you are on a long-term visa here working in America, we want to hear from you. We want you to fill out this survey. Please share it with your networks, share it all over the place, anywhere that you can, in your circus studios, at your circus schools, with your students that you teach, with your circus colleagues, with your bosses. We want every single inch of circus included in the survey. So I know that was kind of long-winded, but this is our big push. And we did a lot of work in creating this survey for the circus industry. And we want to do something as an independent American Circus Alliance that has not been done before for the circus industry, with all independent and collective workers too. If you work for a long-term company, this survey is for you. If you work in Vegas, if you work for Cirque du Soleil, this survey is for you. If you work for any other kind of touring company, this is for you. If you do 1 gig a year, this circus survey is for you. My guest on today's episode of the Live Like an Acrobat podcast is Ricardo Sosa. Ricardo Sosa was born in Havana, Cuba. Ricardo began studying ballet when he was 6 years old. At 17, he enrolled in the Yuri Mandich Circus School in Havana, the national Russian-style state circus school. There, he trained for 4 years to be a professional circus performer. He graduated in 1986 with a remarkable hand balancing and contortion act. 3 years into his career, Ricardo returned to his alma mater and became a circus teacher. He proved to be an unusually effective instructor. After his students began winning national circus competitions, he received a special teaching award from the Cuban government. He also continued to perform, appearing at the Tropicana in Havana and touring with Cuban circus companies in South America. In 1994, while performing in Colombia at Circo Egred Hermanos, Ricardo and other performers in the Cuban troupe defected. It was a huge scandal in Havana. Never before had such an important group of performers defected. For Ricardo Sosa, it was the beginning of a new career. From 1994 to 98, he toured South and Central America with Circo Suarez and performed in Mexico City with Circo Union. There, he was spotted by a casting agent for Carson and Barnes Circus and was offered his first U.S. circus contract in 1999. Ricardo has since settled in the United States, where he has worked extensively in nightclubs, casinos, and circuses, including Circus Circus and the Bellagio Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas, Nevada, Teatro Zinzani in Seattle, Washington, and San Francisco, California, Universal Circus, and Circus Sarasota. He also embarked on an international career, appearing with Circo Mora Orfei in Italy and numerous variety shows in Germany, notably with GOP Variety and Palazzo. Now a U.S. citizen, Ricardo Sosa lives in Miami, Florida. Hi, Ricardo. Thank you so much for coming on to the Live Like an Acrobat podcast. How are you today?
Hello, Shenea. I'm really great. I'm happy to have the opportunity to share some of my life and things that I do with you. And it's going to be a really pleasure for me to share with you. You know, I'm a little older in this game, but I can share a little bit.
You're a legend, Ricardo. You're such a legend. You've been around for so many decades, and you were just talking to me like right before we started the podcast that, you know, you've been in the business now for 35 years, and, you know, the level of longevity and how legendary that is, and how much you've worked. And, you know, you're again a part of a generation that started so much and is continuing because you're still performing everywhere. And you were saying too, like this last time during the pandemic, how much that changed the career, even for you, for someone who's been performing so long. It's been something, hasn't it?
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. You know, some people, they take a notice of what I did on my career. Basically, I do it all, you know, just because I love it. And I just want to, when it's my time to go and God take me with him, you know, I just want to live something not for me, just for the other people, you know. All my experience that I've been teaching since I was in Circus School, I've been teaching and I've been, you know, helping many people. And for me, I'm really happy and I'm glad that you take your time and, you know, to interview me, you know, give me the opportunity to share because I'm really quiet in my own, you know. I like to stay a little quiet and to make a noise. You know, all the people say, let the work make a noise, not making a lot of noise. But for me, it's been really, really hard. Like everybody, you know, those years, the pandemic, they start hitting everybody, you know, and I just start adjusting on my own. Just like I said before, I just building a lot of circuit equipment and a lot of prop. I'm an inventor, I'm an entrepreneur, and I just created my own company. I just selling, you know, a lot of sport equipment for gymnasts, rhythmic gymnasts, dancers, and karate people, jogi. I just doing a lot of workshop, and now I just came like 4 days before from Mexico. I was 1 month over there doing a lot of workshop and a lot of jogi, a lot of contortionist and acrobatic and hand balancer. And well, for me, it's been quite rapidly to adjust myself to doing all the things that I was not doing before because I was performing. Now I just getting just a little relaxing and not performing, but I just have to prepare for my next show because I have to do it. Yeah, and look, this is one of my prop that I building. You know, this is one of my prop that I building. This is a practice can handstand, and this is another type of different equipment. Okay, that's a for individual, but they adjust and you can use it in like a four block and do handstand. But this one is really great because this one is like a little stroller, you know, and just really nice. I love it.
I love that you made your hand balancing prop like so easy and accessible, Ricardo, because, you know, like all of us hand balancers, that's what everybody always asks. Like, is it light? Can I balance on it? Can I like, is it portable? Can I put it anywhere? So for all of those that are just like listening in and that are not watching the podcast, I highly suggest that you come and watch the podcast on YouTube, because Ricardo just showed like how fabulous his inventions are for hand balancing props. And you could learn the way that he does it, and then obviously seek him out for his services, because there's no better person to create hand balancing equipment than someone who's a hand balancing legend. So, I mean, it's hard to compete when you can get your hand balancing props made by Ricardo Sosa. So I love that you've taken that on.
That's what I always say. I always say to all my students, I say, you know, it is no, you can be an engineer or whatever, but they don't know how to do handstand, and they don't know how to handle when they have to travel. Like for example, excuse me, when I was in a cruise ship many years ago, I remember that's when I started, you know, adjusted all my prop because it's really hard when you get in the ship, because it go all the way up to the ramp. Sometimes felt things, I saw the other performers, things they falling like jugglers, and I say, no, I have to make this prop really easy and portable because and lighter, and also really easy to set up and set it down, because it was no time for me to just go and do it. And I started, you know, just really thinking and working on those little details. And now I just give it to one of my students in Mexico, one of my prop that I'm building. You will see in a couple of months when he started, because it's a really nice prop. I'm not gonna talk, and it's my own creation. And it's a really big prop, and they weigh only 50 pounds. You know, 25 kilograms, all stainless steel. I work in everything with stainless steel, and that's really good. I'm telling you, it's really good. Yeah, it's not because I make it; it's because it's good.
Yeah, it's really good. I mean, for those that are listening in that are not familiar with like circus props, weight of a circus prop is everything. It can make or break you being able to get the circus job, because if a prop is really, really heavy and the company just doesn't want to pay the money, they won't take you. And you can have the best act in the world, but if they don't want to pay for the shipping, believe me, they won't. Yeah. They will take another act that has no props, or that has a really super light prop that's really that's really accessible and portable, like you said, Ricardo, and you'll lose the job. That's what I did with my props too. When I created it for all of the environments, and sometimes too, even if they want like the bigger, nicer prop, even if they see that, they'll be like, oh, no, we want the small one. I'm like, yeah, but the other one is so much nicer. And they're like, it's okay, we want the basic prop because it's light.
That's true. I'll tell you something, what happened to me when I started, when I started my career here in US, I was in a Universal Circus many years ago. I started in 1999, at the end of 99, 4 straight year to the end of 2003. But I remember when I enrolled with Teatro Insani, I remember Rini, I was talking on the phone with her, and she said, I really like your performance and your act, but your table is really big. I have a high table, and I say, well, like this, I say on this, like exactly like this. Okay, if you give me that contract, I build in a table. And she say, no, you build in a table, you send the video to me, and I give it the contract. It took me only 2 weeks to myself to build in the small table that I have with motor and everything, because I already thinking about makeup, but I just don't need it. And I build the table and I send the videotape. And as soon as they get the videotape, they say, okay, you're done. You're ready. The deal is done. And they send the contract and everything. When I put my table over there, they say, who built this table? I say, I built it myself. And Ian, the guy who was over there, the technician, he say, you build it on your own? I say, I built it on my own. I don't asking to nobody. And he say, that's great. And the motor, they turn and everything. And I remember, believe me, Elena Borodina was on the show before, and he say, oh, Elena, they have her motor, it's not working really good and everything. Can I copy your motor and everything? I say, you can do it for me. You don't take nothing from me. You just pass what I took me time for me to develop, in years. It's good to share with people. And after that, I met her, but a year later, and she said, oh, thank you, Ricardo. Ian told me. I say, no, it's my pleasure. I know your problem is really heavy. And for me, it was like, okay, this is what I did to help somebody. For me, that was, I always say it was payback.
Yeah. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Not everybody's so super open either, Ricardo. Sometimes people want to like hide things in this business and they don't want anybody to know, and they don't want to share their techniques or share how they made something, or they say like that somebody else made it, or, they don't want to give the credit to the person that made it also. Everything can be really competitive, which again, some aspect of that is okay. Like what you're saying right now, you built a new prop for someone, you're not going to do the reveal yet. You're going to let it get out there first, and then everybody will see. So some part of that is like totally fine and good, but I also too love like how generous you are and how open you've been, because you could have said no. You could have said, this is mine, it's my design.
Yeah, but I always say I'm an inventor. That's the first thing that I keep a secret. Before I don't have the patent and everything, I keep a secret. For so many years, I keep a secret, all my invention. But it's been like 3 years, I got the patent for everything. I have like 2 legal cases, and they cost me a lot of time and money, but that's not the problem. The thing is, as soon do I posted on Instagram, I tell people, yeah, I still making, deal with company, like Capesio, they offer me a decent amount of money for one of my invention, but I don't want to get it because I just want to give them, more value to my invention. But if I can share some of my invention with somebody, they're gonna help. Then what am I have to keep it if I already got the patent? I just have nothing to be afraid of nothing, because whatever they copy something from my creation. It is not that I am the best. I always say it's good when people copy something good, because the day that I left this earth, it's the legacy what's going to be behind me. Oh, he built this. And my stepfather always told me about that. Don't keep everything on your own, because the day that you're going, nobody's going to take it. All your story, all things is going to be down with you. But if you share everything, you are not here on life, but you are here on the earth, because all your legacy is going to And for me, that's the most important thing. I keep it like this. Yeah.
It's beautiful. So you said that you did apply for patents though. Like you did go through the process for some patents for your work.
Yeah, I did. I have now 7 patents on my back. And
wow, 7.
Yep. I have a 7 from sport equipment, and from circus equipment, I have a 3. There's 10, a total is 14 I have. But I still working on some of my invention, and I dedicate really, I've been the last 9 years of my life now. I start working on this. I start continue to perform, but more focus on creative things, and and if you see on my Instagram, you can see one of the split machine they doing, to help them do a straddle, different type of split. I posted that one in 2020. Because when I got the approval for the patent and everything, and I posted one of the graphic designer, and you can see a little bit, the thing this is gonna be, but this is not exactly what it's gonna be. That's just to get an idea what the machine is gonna do. It's really portable and really light, because they have another machine on the market. But it's really good. The machine is working really good, and I've been using it for many years. But on my machine, they're working completely different type of flexibility. It's more to people like you, like me. They working more in oversplit and aggressive flexibility. Like a rhythmic gymnastic, jockey, circus performer, gymnast. And it is more specifically for those type of person that really working on flexibility. And like I say, I've been working on this because I took myself as an example for all my students. They've been asking me for all those years how they can get more flexibility, because the more flexibility you have in our specialty, the better you're going to be. It's not that you're going to be the best, but the better you're going to be when you are doing, because you're going to do it effortless, and
Yes.
and just you're going to have a less opportunity to get injury, because the more not limited, the more tight, the more the less flexibility that you have, you got more possibility to get hurt, because you are going to use it too much, your joint and your strength. And when you tired, your body did not work the same. But when you tired and you are flexible, you can use it, that ability to just hanging on your flexibility, not on your strength. And because I've been doing it all my life. That's I've been doing it all my life. And the people say, how can you go do a tight position like this with your ring? I say, I don't do strength, I just do flexibility. That's for me. And no, but it's too hard. Oh, maybe for you, but for me, no. For flexible people, you know that. You're flexible. You know that. You've been doing this for many years too. And you know that we're talking the same language.
We're talking the exact same language. It's just so brilliant to hear, the way that you explain it, everything too, Ricardo, because it's genius. And the way that, the level that you've been doing this on for so many years, and also too uniquely yourself as being such a high level contortionist, like as a male hand balancer also.
That.
Yes, you were very unique from the beginning, and you're still very unique even now. So, it was again very rare.
I just try to. I always say to my friends and my students, I just never compete with nobody. It's like in my career, so many people, they always ask me, why you never been to Monte Carlo? I say, I don't like a competition.
I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah.
Why no circus competitions?
No. And I've been, I have it twice the opportunity to go to Monte Carlo. One, it was in 2004. And the other one, it was in 2010. The one in 2004, it went to the Monte Carlo. I don't. Well, I know it was Duo Liasse, and Andrei Kolsov. I remember he was in Teatro Insani, and really they asked me to go to replace him because he went to Monte Carlo. He went to Monte Carlo, but at the same time, I was have a conversation few months before with Urs, that they're the main person on Monte Carlo, that some agent, Linda Dors, they sent my videotape at that time, and he said to me, I hear on the phone, he say, you know, you are very unique, and you first time that I see a black male at that level on the handstand, but we already have the two hand balancing actor that, but if somebody, you know, fell for some reason,
wow,
you're gonna be, and for me, that was, wow, I say, that was the big compliment for me. And the other one, it was in 2010, but it went Erika Lemay, the same. And I say, wow, that's, I remember I say to my friend, you know, I've been trying to go to Monte Carlo for many times, but he don't want me to go there because he know I don't like the competition. And yeah, believe me, I say,
I believe you.
And I say,
it's rare though.
If he don't want, if he don't want, I'm not gonna, just chasing nothing. Because before, when I was in Soul Circus, I moved every connection do I have with Cedric Walker, the owner of Universal Circus, to go to Monte Carlo. And I spoke with many people, and for some reason, everybody they don't want to move nothing, and I say, okay, I don't have to go. And I have an invitation to go to, for Nora Sambu, that the main contortion, the pioneer of the contortion lady from Mongolia, she invited me to go to the Lambato Mongolia Circus Festival. For some reason, I don't went. I was invited when I was in China to work in Wukiao Circus Festival in Budapest. For some reason, something happened, boom. And I never lost, feel like I lost something. I always say, something is coming better than that. And all my career, something is coming better for me, and better and better and better. And I say, I get 56 years old, and I say, if I pass here without go to Monte Carlo, I don't need it.
Well, you don't. I mean, the career that you've had without going to festival, I mean, and that just like proves it anyway, because again, there's a different path for everyone within the circus environment and within the industry, and people that have had careers like you, where again, the only reason why again is because yes, you're so prolific as like the only Black hand balancer in this way. And so in that way, it's like, yes, of course, it's so special. But then in the other way too, you didn't need it. And I also too came from the competitive world. And, I got invited to every single circus festival. And at the time too, me and my partner, we were like, we're not interested because we were so tired of competing and it just wasn't for us. And even now, like later on when I did solo and stuff too, I had the opportunity, but I also too, I felt like I did enough competition before. And again, like the work is coming, the career is coming in a lot of different ways. It's not just one path. And for me, I mean, like, again, you're so dynamic and again, so legendary. So, it's like an honorary. I think in the future, maybe they'll have like an honorary category, and I would love to see you honored. Yeah. Maybe they can do something like that.
You have an amazing career too, as a sport lady and as a hand balancing too, because believe me, I've been seeing you doing since you start, your solo career. I saw you many times, and when I see things, I just put like and I say, because for me, it's like I know all the hand balancing that they are in the game right now. I know all that they posted. And when I saw things that I like it, I put the like it, I make a comment to most of the young girls, they are now, those young guys. And I try to connect with all those people. but they never answer back to me. I don't know why.
Mm-hmm.
Believe me, I've been trying to get connected on my own. Now, I just say something to all the hand balancing. They never write back to me. I don't know why. I don't know. I always say, it is a jealousy in between, because from my side, it don't. But if you feels like, just say to one guy, I really love to get connected with all the hand balancing, just to say, hey, how you doing, and how can you do this, and I admired you, because every time I was in Europe and I saw other hand balancing, I went there and I say, and in some point they was like this, and I feels like, why?
Yeah, same.
I just want
feel the
to,
same.
yeah. I just want to, just to ask and to, just to share your experience and how long they take it. How could you do this? How could you do that? It's like, in my work that I do now, an inventor, I get connected with so many engineers, and I ask them about many new things, and they share with me like nothing. And I say, how could all my colleagues hand balancing, they never share things with me, or I want to share with them, just to say, like, for example, look, this little thing, I'll show you. This little thing, you see this little thing,
Yes.
this block. People, they've been asking me for years, because this is a special paint. How could I don't use it, no resin, no magnesium, nothing. I just use it this. It took me years to find this. And as soon as I found it, I just share with everybody when they ask me. And they say, oh, what is this? This is plastic. This is, I say, no, it's a wood. It's a special wood, a strong wood. They can fall and they never break it. And I don't do it like people do it, I open completely and they take it. And I share all my secrets with this. And I say, buy this type of painting and put it and do like this. And after that, I never get, thank you and things like that. Just not for the appreciation. It's the simple thing, the appreciation. Come on, it took me years. And I give it, every time I saw all this equipment, I give it everything, and I give it, okay, you can buy this type of painting. And most of the people that I sell my equipment, like those practicing Ken, they are not from the circus. They are yogi and people, they want to, just do a handstand. They always say, oh, thank you, Ricardo. Thank you for, this really like it. And I say, wow, how could these people, they really appreciate. And my people, my colleague, the people, they share the same specialty like me. They keep their mouths sick. I say, well, it's all right.
It's all right. You let them know, Ricardo, because something, I've had similar experiences too. And that's also one of the reasons why I started my podcast. And that's another reason why I started my other podcast on Circus Talk, my pro series, Think Like an Acrobat, because I feel like everyone should have access to this important information. And I feel the same like you, like we should share this information within the industry. We should just be open. We should help each other to have the most advantages as possible, because then we can all compete against each other, having the exact same start, having the exact same knowledge, the information, and it just makes the industry better. There's no reason to keep secrets and to try and, keep things from people, or to just feel like you can't be friendlier as an industry. Because for me, we're stronger together. I feel like the only thing that's been holding the circus industry back is the fact that everybody doesn't stay united. And we could be so much more powerful as an industry if we stay together, we work together, we appreciate one another. Because for me too, I never lost anything on appreciating another circus performer, another hand balancer, another acro duo, never. And I was raised like that. And I wanted to ask you too, if that came from like you growing up, Ricardo, because for me, I was raised like that by my coaches from Russia, from Ukraine, from Bulgaria. They told me, don't you ever, ever act like you're better than somebody else. Don't you ever. They said, even if you become some kind of champion, they said, don't you ever act like you are better than anyone, that you can't be open to somebody else, and that you cannot appreciate them. So I'm really grateful that I had that from when I was a very little girl, because my coaches always told me, don't ever think that you're so much more than anybody else. You're just a human being. You've learned a good skill because you have good discipline, and it's going to take you far if you continue like this. But they were like, don't ever think that you're there to not be there for others. And, you know, like this is to me, one of the unhealthy things that we have in this business that keeps us back. It keeps us back. And for what it's worth, people came together during the pandemic, and that was beautiful, but it's only because people got so broken that they came together. Yes. And I want to see people stay together, even though the industry is coming back. It's like, don't act like now because things are getting better, you don't have to stay together. Now you have to use the glue that brought us together during the pandemic and keep it and use it and make it stronger to go forward, because it just makes things better, so that we're not like, you know, put against one another. You know, it's like you can help someone with what you know. They can get a better contract if you help them. Don't you want somebody to have a better experience than you did? I always say, if I didn't have a good experience, I want others to have a better experience than I did. And so by sharing the information, they'll be able to make better decisions than I did. And, you know, sometimes like if I knew one simple thing about a situation, I could have maybe done it better, had a better contract, better experience, you know, better time, learned a better technique. I mean, someone like you who has so much skill, you know, and this is also too another system. You're a different generation. And again, you can't have, I think, a culture of circus that exists without the generations before, because we stand on each other's shoulders. I'm here because of you. You're here because of other performers, you know, and, you know, our journeys are all connected and intertwined. And, so, you know, I was very curious too, again, you know, Ricardo, like in your development of when you came up, like, I mean, like coming from Cuba and then you defected even, I mean, your journey was just so incredible. And then again, like the caliber that you got to, I mean, it comes from so much. And I hear everything inside of you, and it reminds me so much of how I see things and why you're here. And I've wanted you to be a guest for a long time on the podcast. I've been waiting. So I'm really happy to have you here and to have you share this wisdom, because your perspective is so important, especially because you're still performing at such a high level and at this age too, with all of this experience so many years later. So
thank you, Shenea. I really appreciate that. And I'm really happy, and I'm glad, and I'm honored to just to be part of your podcast now. And I hope they continue, because for me is, you know, to see the new generation, you know, carry on our generation, you know, like you say before, that for me is such a, like you say, glue, because it's not separate on independent. You know, we all came from one in front of us, you know, and that's what we get continued. For me, that's really nice. And I hope a lot of people, they watch your podcast, and they can see, you know, what you've been doing, you know, because like you say, it is nobody better than nobody. It's when you think that you are the best, there are 100 people, like Bruce Lee used to say. When you think you are the best, there's 100 people out there on the forest that you don't even know what they are. And for me, I always say, if I can show somebody, you know, I've been teaching so many people, you know, and I always teaching all what I know and what I can, you know, all my experiences. That's what I've been teaching to people. All those little details, how they can do it easy. They don't have to, you know, fighting too much. I explain, like I put everything on the blender and I give her like everything there. Just drink it and go. And for me, that's the best, because when you do that, you know, you got the old generation, the new generation, and the generation to come, just link all together. And for me, that's the best. That's priceless. That's for me. And I wish all the new generation, they continue to do it, and because it doesn't feel like I'm older. It feels like wow, look at, they come to do it, what they've been doing for so many years. And this is legacy behind, for me, is, like I say, it's priceless. I've taken my hat out and I say, thank you to you, Shenea, for giving me this opportunity. Really, 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 really. And I'm happy that you continue to be in success all over the world and working everywhere and keep going. And like I always say, just do it for the power of people, just continue to do it. And you will see what I've been doing. All this, you will see. It's not secret now, but it's still in negotiation now, and still a little bit in business till get developed. You will see what is, and then you will say, "Wow, he was really quiet because he have to stay quiet." Believe me, yeah, believe me. It's a lot of. Well, I deal with Shark Tank now to get them, get there. Yes.
Nice.
Just start getting in. And let's see. I just give her everything, and the thing that I don't have is the selling part, but they got interested on some of my equipment, and let's see if everything is going well. It looks like it's going well, but let's see for the final approval. And if it then, like we say in Cuba, cruza los dedos.
Fingers crossed. My fingers are crossed for you, Ricardo. I hope it works out. I mean, you would just be like fabulous on Shark Tank.
Good luck.
Yes, yes, for the good luck. I know it's going to work out. It'll work out in exactly the way that it's meant to be, because again, sometimes you never know. The opportunity looks like it's going to be a certain way, but then the better opportunity comes from the side. So I also know that there's a lot of different possibilities, but I think this is really amazing. I'm glad that you're like going in this direction, and I'm glad to see so many like performers and artists taking like different roles in the business too, because there's so much that you can do. There's so much that we do, and like putting it into these different environments. I was going to ask you, Ricardo, what do you think about like the Got Talent shows and the Got Talent series now that are so like super popular? Again, you've like seen everything for so many years. You've seen like the evolution. You've seen Cirque du Soleil evolve over the many years too. And like, what do you feel about like Cirque du Soleil also?
Well, I really love Cirque du Soleil, and I really like all the Got Talent. Because they give it it's a really high platform for all the performers. Mm-hmm. And like I said before, I really don't like a competition, but I was calling by America Got Talent, British Got Talent, German Got Talent. But like I said before, I don't know, it's in my DNA. I don't like the competition. And I always deny it for some reason, but I really pushing some of my friends in connecting to there. And they've been there, like my friend Ricardo, he was in Circus Soleil in America Got Talent, and now he's on another talent competition over there in Hollywood, in California. And another friend of mine living in Spain, Rafael de Carlo, great juggler. We studied together in Circus School, and I always pushing all my friends, and some another of my students, but I really love it to see all those big platform to all the young generation, and even for my generation too, to get motivated, to get more excited to show the rest of the world what they've been doing for so many years, and I really like it about that. But what I really don't like in the business and my business is just because all those shows they being so popular, they're not paid. They're not really appreciated. They always say, "Oh, you're gonna get promoted." I'm not gonna get promoted. I just already promoted myself. If you're gonna get a lot of rating by my performance, and then you don't want to pay nothing. Come on, just at least pay me a decent money. No, because if you win, because that was one of the deal that I have. I say, no, I know I'm not gonna win. You're gonna use me as a rating because you're gonna take me over there, and because it happened to me. It happened to me. I went one time. That was the top that I say to myself, never go to any TV show. I went to one TV show many years ago. They call 30 Seconds to Fame. And I remember when I did my performance, they cut in everything. They don't want me to do it what I want. They want me to do it what they want. Just a simple thing. They don't want me to do it all my crazy thing. No. And then I did because I want. And they do some shitty and things to me that I was so angry and so sad. And it was on my birthday. I stopped everything to go to that TV show. And when I got so disappointed to myself that I say to myself, I'm not promised because I don't make a promise. I say to myself, no more to any talent show. And they've been calling me even right before the pandemic. And I say, I'm busy. Really, I was not busy. I can go, but I say, I'm not going to put myself on that stress like I was before. And like Circus Soleil, I'll tell you about Circus Soleil. Circus Soleil, I met Gila Liberté, Sancra, Guy Charon, and Franco Dragon when I was in Circus School. And they all want to hire, not only me, all my colleagues, all my friends that we work from Circus School. But anyway, when I get here, I did two auditions for Circus Soleil. The first audition, they play with me. They make me do everything, and I say, okay, I pay the floor. The second time, I went with my friend Ricardo when he was in La Nuba. I was 41 years old. I only do my act. And I do my acting in front of everybody. And after that, the cameraman, they ask me, what am I want to work in Circus Soleil? And I say, well, I want to work in Circus Soleil because I always like, and it was my dream when I was in the circus school. And I came here just because my friend that he sit down over there, he pushed me to come here. And he say, okay, how old are you? I say, I'm 41 years old. I say, you 41 years old and do this? I say, yeah, I do this. This is what I do for life. And I say, and this is your dream, working Circus Soleil? I say, no. I say before, it was. It was. Because now I got 20 years behind my back. Wherever I go, people know who I am. I created, I taught them, wherever I go, people know who is Ricardo Sosa. But if I work in Circus Soleil, nobody know who am I, because they put makeup on my face, they change my prop, and I'm gonna do it whatever Circus Soleil they want. They are not going to respect my 20 years. Why? Because they don't wanna pay me what I want. And I have a deal for Oval. They asked me to perform it when they start creation on Oval. By the time that we start negotiate, that's what I say, no more, because they want to pay me like an amateur, you know? Yes. And I say, come on, this is not for me. I say, not for me. The other audition, I was in Las Vegas in Circus. That's when the contortion from Humanity, Mukhtar, the Russian dislocator contortion, he supposed to leave the show. And my friend Geronimo from the show that he was doing his troupe, he connected me to do an audition. And I went there and I did the audition. And the coach from Circus Soleil, the director over there, they say, okay, we did everything. They want to pay me some funny money. And I say, look, yeah, I say funny money because you know what I'm talking about. And I say,
oh, yes.
Look, I say, look, and she say, oh, but you're going to work in Circus Soleil. And I say, let me break it down for you. You say, I'm going to work in Circus Soleil. And I tell you this. At that time, I have a 2 house. And I say, look, I have a 2 house. One that I live, one that I rent. And then when the bill knock on my door, I'm not going to say, oh, work in Circus Soleil. No. The bill is going to say, you pay the bill, whatever you work, pay the bill. And then just because I work in Circus Soleil, I'm not going to afford to pay my bill, And I say, I just do this audition because my friend Geronimo, they asked me, by the way, who called who? You call me or I call you? Because you're the one they call me to come to the audition. Mm-hmm. I don't come here. It's not because I don't want. I want to work in Circus Soleil, but I want to make it a decent money for what I want, what I deserve. It's not overvalue. I want to make the money that I make outside. Because if I don't make the same money do I make outside, when am I have to go there doing more show, more stress, more pressure? Nobody knows me. Put all my career going, because when you go to Circus Soleil, you are not you. You lost your identity. You are not you anymore. And I say, I've been already in this game for more than 25 years. I don't need this. Thank you, and keep your Circus Soleil. And I'm going that way. Like this, I say, I'm going that way. Like this. Everybody was laughing. Like even Stefan, the guy they used to do the body to body. He say, man, you're such a funny guy. And I say, Stefan, I just don't need to work in here. You know me from so many years. I told him, I work in Circus Circle. I work in the Straxo Opera. I work in Bellagio. I work in 3 different hotels here. Make a lot of money. Yeah. And I just go doing my thing. At Circus Soleil, I have to come here rehearsing in the morning. What I've been doing for 25 years, handstand. Well, what is that? What is that? I already do handstand all my life. What am I have to do? Oh, do it 1 hour, 10 seconds. Oh, do it 1 hour, 15 seconds. Come on, I've been doing this for years. Am I right or wrong?
No, you're right.
Tell me if I'm right.
Totally right.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I celebrate all the people that work in Circus Soleil. I clap it for them. Of course. But it's not for me. Yeah, it's not for me. and I say, you work in Circus Soleil, good for you. Not for me. Because if I have to, go practice in handstand more than what I need, I overdo it. And when you overdo it, that's why you get, injury and unmotivating and, tired. And for me, I do handstand what I needed right now, to keep in my, I just don't overdo it. And if I'm going to those type of place, I have to overdo it. And I do it because I love it and I have a passion. But if I do it like it's a factory, that's not for me. I say, no, thank you. Keep it, your Circus Soleil, all your logo and everything. I congratulate you. And don't get me wrong, I love it, but not for me. I'd rather to work in some other show that I have no stress. Yes. And it's the same high level like Circus Soleil. Yes. Like, for example, I tell you this. Yes. Performing in Teatro Insani, for me, was the best place. Also, Teatro Insani was the place they opened the door for me on the variety show. And I say, my career started when I came here to America in Universal Circus. But my develop of my ambition to perform in many places was when I stepped on Teatro Insani, because Teatro Insani opened the, I say, the door for me to see what it was outside. Because I remember when I worked in Teatro Insani, after that, I started, knowing all the Winter Garden, Tigre Palace, Palazzo, all those variety shows. And that was, I was like, okay, but there's a lot of things out there. It's not only circus.
Right.
And believe me, when I step on Teatro Insani, I say to myself, no more circus. And in my 35-year career, I've been touring like six circus. And I have a lot of offer to work in many circus. And if I see that I can go to Palazzo or on another variety show, even though it's a short time, I just go there. I had so many opportunities to perform in Germany, in Scandinavia, in circus. And I say 7 months, go in the circus tour on the trailer, snowing. I say, no, I got my practice really small. I put it in the center stage in Palazzo. I go to Palazzo 3 months. I went to Palazzo. Believe me.
Yeah.
It's not because...
Straight to Palazzo, I know.
Yeah, it's not because I remember my friends, they say, man, how can you gonna in Norway? I have in Norway circus. They asked me for the whole season, many years in Denmark, and I always say 6, 7 months, and I say, oh, I got 2 months in GOP here, another 2 months in GOP, and another GOP, and I say, okay, I got 6 months between 3 GOP. I go to GOP. Yes. My friend said to me, Ricardo, you crazy, man. You're going to lose 8 months. I say, what is the difference between 8 and 6? It's only 2, but it's not. No, but look, I say, I don't want to go to circus because it's too much. I go to GOP. I just go do 1 show a day.
Yes.
In Christmas, yes, I do a lot of shows, but they pay me too.
Right. You get extra.
Yeah.
So it gets worth it.
Yeah. And then I get my room over there and I go down. I don't have to travel.
Right. I don't have to do caravan. I don't have to pull my own water. I don't have to pull my own electricity. Yeah. I live in the building. It's all inclusive.
Shenea,
amazing.
I was in Circus Moira Orfei and Miss Moira. That was in 2009, 2010. She offered me 1.5 year contract because she said, you can continue the half of the season now, and then we start the next year to the rest of it. And I say, every day I was talking to her because I was the closing the first half, and she came and ride in the center of the stage with the Volkswagen. And I just came out to do my performance, not from the backstage, from the front door, and I crossed the center ring like this, and I would start talking with her, and she always say, why you don't stay here with us? And I always, every time when I have to go there, I say, well, I have to lie to her once again. Yeah, because I say, I have to lie once again. And after 10 days, you know what I did? I just came really right exactly when the moment that I have to run to the stage. I just go because I just feels like repeat same and the same and the same. And I guess she was thinking, okay, I will continue to tell him till he say yes. And I say to myself, I will continue to say no to she say, okay, no. We both was in the same. We want something and I want something, she wants something. And thank you. I say at the end that I say, well, you know what? I have to go because I have to start in Crystal Palace and I gotta go. And I disappear. Yeah, but believe me, I chose to go to Crystal Palace 4.5 months, like 5 months, rather than 1.5 years. Look at that. My friends say to me, man, you crazy. I say, no,
Mm-hmm.
I just don't want to get mugged.
It's preservation. It's self-preservation, really. But it's a completely different way of looking at it, you know, Ricardo. Like it's counter, because everybody always thinks it has to just be one way. You have to make every decision like everybody else. You have to only like contracts like everybody else. And this is not the case. I did the same with my partner, my coach also too. He didn't want us to sign very long contracts at the beginning. He said, I don't want you to be broken right away. He said, I want you to keep your identity. I want you to keep your freedom. He's like, I want you to grow artistically. He's like, and if I put you in like a Cirque contract right away, he's like, believe me, you're not going to have a lot. You might not end up working together anymore. You might lose your love for the circus. He was very, very, very careful. And this is why I ended up doing a lot of special events for Cirque instead of doing their touring shows and a lot of their like resident shows, because when we would negotiate the contract, sometimes they would try to like put me and my partner not together. And we said, why would we do the contract, but we're not working together? That doesn't make any sense. So we would say, no, we can go to Europe and we can stay together and do our own acts and do our own choreography, use our own music, use our imagination. And so this kept me connected. And also too, doing maybe like 4 or 5 different companies, 4 or 5 different contracts. It's like, again, showing like artists of this generation too, and not even this generation, just in general, that you can do it a different way. And it can come from how you want to perform, like what feels good for your body, what feels good for your psychological mindset, what feels good for you overall. Like it should be that way. You shouldn't just take it just to take it, because you never know how it's going to affect you. Not everybody is supposed to do the same type of work, and not everybody's supposed to have the same opportunities, which is what I understood from when I was really like young. So I just love you showing like all the different possibilities, because again, Cirque du Soleil is not the only standard, and it's not the highest standard either. There are so many revered, brilliant companies all over the world that will keep you employed, that are phenomenal contracts with high caliber, high level performers. And you can make the choice to not work for Cirque du Soleil. They don't dictate your career. You dictate your career. You were a name before, you're a name during, and you're a name after, regardless. For me, it's just a shame that they lost you, that they missed out on you. That for me is the biggest thing. That's why I wanted you to speak on that, because that's something for me that's very important to know, because someone of your caliber, and there's a lot of, not a lot, but there's a lot of performers of your caliber like that too, that never ended up working for Cirque and never went. And people are usually wonder why. They have questions, especially if they don't know the business that well. They don't understand the dynamics of the contracts. They don't understand the pay. They don't understand the independence. They don't understand that you like worked hard to gain this name, and that you need respect. And for some people, it works. It worked for them. And for others, they weren't willing to do the same things. And it just depends. There's no, rhyme or reason. But for me, it was like, they missed out on you, they missed out on you, but the world didn't miss out on you because you went everywhere.
Talk about that. Talk about that, Shenea. The Franco Dragon show in Las Vegas, the water show that Franco Dragon used to have it in Vegas.
Le Rev.
Le
Rev.
When they started in the beginning, right before they started, I remember I was in Teatro Insani. I have a contract for Teatro Insani in San Francisco. And the guy that was booking in that time hired all the performers. I believe in his name is Steve. He called me, and I remember I went to Vegas to do some show over there, and he said to me, "Hey, Ricardo," a friend of mine, they give him my telephone number, and he called me and say, "Hey, Ricardo, we're gonna make a show for Franco Dragon. I still have all the contract and everything, all the paper and everything." And he said to me, "We're gonna start building a show for Franco Dragone. I'm the person they start involving, to hire all the talent, the casting, all the talent and everything. And then we're going to practice in New Zealand. We're going to stay for like 4 months in New Zealand." And he said to me like this, and I swear to God, he said to me, "We want to put you, the idea is right before the show start, everything, we're gonna have some center big props, and what your skin color is gonna match really nice and everything, all your flexibility. You're gonna be the top, like the tree when they do it in La Red. And I say, oh, this sounds really good. And we start talk about the money and everything. And we make it, let's say we make a decent, they offer me a decent money for that I can choose to say, okay, but you know why I did not agree? Because I say to them, I have a 4.5-month contract in Teatro Insani. And now you want me to go 4 months to practice in handstand, because I told him, I'm not going to do nothing that is not handstand. I'm not going to do it this and that and all this, because I told him like this, look, if you want me to do my high level performance over there, I cannot jump in like you tell me that I cannot tumble in over there. I cannot do this, because let me break it down for you right now. All those years that I've been doing like this is because I don't do it only handstand. That's what I do. And I think I do it a little okay. I think I do it okay, because I have a lot of people, they ask me to go to their place. If I don't do it okay, they don't ask me. And by the way, you one of those guys, they ask me to go to your production. That means if you don't respect what I ask him, I cannot take it what you offer me, because I cannot do it all what you demanded from me, and then you want me to tumble in here, jumping over there, go there, and then you ask me to stay 1 hour and stay strong? Who you think I am, a robot? No, not me. Like this. And he said to me, okay, we have to talk about that. And I say, right before, you just make sure that is on my contract. Because if that is not on my contract, I don't think we have a deal.
Right.
Like this, I say, I don't think we have a deal. Also, I have like almost 5 months in Teatro Insani right now. I just started. In 5 or 6 days, I have to fly to San Francisco. From here, fly to Miami, switch my suitcase, and fly to San Francisco. And I can go there, when I finish my contract, I can stay for like 1 month rehearsing, doing my hand balancing, because he told me, you're going to do it all your routine over there. I say, well, I don't need to practice. I'm going to work in Teatro Insani doing my routine. Whatever I have to do it, practicing for 4 months, my routine over there. I told him. And he say, oh, you know what? That's impossible. I say, well, I think we don't have a deal. Just like this, I say, we don't have a deal, because I cannot go and practice. Oh, also, they want to pay me for 4 months, some ridiculous money for rehearsing.
Yes.
Ridiculous money. I say,
yes.
I'm going to Teatro Insani. I'm going to last 4.5 months with a nice contract, with a nice attention, really beautiful show, just to go to rehearse.
For 4 months.
Things that I've been doing my entire life. I don't think we can have a deal. He called me about 2 weeks later, and he say, okay, Ricardo, I think that you have to thinking about and decide if you want to come with us. I say, well, I tell you what I tell you before. It is not that I have to think. I already tell you, when we spoke on the phone for more than 20 minutes, I just already tell you everything. I don't have to thinking about nothing, because I say exactly what I say.
The truth.
You don't know what you say to me, but I know what I say to you, because all what I say to you is what I got right here in Teatro Insani. The only thing that I'm going to do is doing my things, finish in Teatro Insani, and put it over there on your show. That condition, it has to be the same, different location. That's it. I told her like this. That's the way that I negotiate. I am not new in this business because I've been well known by everybody, and people, sometimes when I go to place, I don't have to ask them. People say, Ricardo, we know you, this is, and I say, okay, I want this. It's not that I stuck up and nothing. It's they know me.
Yes.
If you don't give me what I needed and what I want, let's make a deal. Let's negotiate. It's not all what you want.
Right.
Yeah, I
Meet
always
in the
say
middle.
this. It's not what you want. Yes, meet me in the middle. It's not what you want. It's what we want. You want to have me. I want to work with you. Let's meet me in the middle, and then we both could be, good, because you're gonna have me, and I'm gonna be in your place, and I'm gonna have a lot of satisfaction to performing in your place because you gave me what is fair.
Yes.
It's
equitable.
Yeah, and that, yeah. This is one thing that I've been teaching all my students, because now I'm not only teaching my student about handstand, I teaching about negotiate
right,
too.
about the business.
And I say, like one of my students in Mexico, I say his first contract, he called me and said, Ricardo, I got this. And I say, you know what? This is not for you. They have to pay you this. They have to give you this. Just because you're Mexican, it doesn't mean that you have to make a little bit of money.
Right.
Because they call you.
Right.
I told him, they call you.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter that you're Mexican, Cuban, Russia, from Guinea. It doesn't matter.
African, Ethiopian,
yeah.
Kenyan.
It doesn't matter.
They have to pay you the same.
Exactly.
As they would somebody from a Western country.
They have to pay you what is fair. Like, I remember I worked with 4 girls in China from Ethiopia. And I taught those girls, because those girls, the leader, they tell me, hey, Ricardo, and I say, look, it doesn't work like this. It is not because you're from Ethiopia, they have to pay you this. They have to pay you for what you are doing.
Yes.
For what you represent on the stage to their company.
Yes.
Not to you, to their company. Because to their company, you are a star. But for them, they unappreciate you in the way to negotiate, because they make you minimize your value. And I told her, maybe on this contract, you have to let go like this. But for your next contract, you have to do this, this, this. And if you don't know how to negotiate, I told her, believe me, you can call me on Skype. That was in 2009. It was not like 2010, like now that you have a Zoom and all that. You call me on Skype and I make a deal for you. Like this, I say, because it is not fair.
Yeah.
And I feel really, really sad every time I see, like when I went 3 years ago in 2019, Universal Circus was here in Miami. And I went to see the show because, believe me, Universal Circus is like my house. And the owner, they say to some of those performers over there, this guy, it was the highest pay on my show. And it was the only one they performing and practicing every time. That's why he make a lot of money. It was a few Cuban people over there that I, opened the door for them. And when they tell me what they make it, I was so depressed for them. And I say, you know what?
Yeah.
I don't criticize you. I told them, I don't criticize you guys. And I don't feel like you guys less than that, because that's what I became. I know what I came from. I came from a poor family, poor country. But if I can help people, you don't have to tell me, but I can tell you what you can make it decent. on your price. And I
Right.
told those guys, you know, the only way that you can show them that you respect yourself is when you finish your contract and he offer you to stay, you just quit. And then he will call you. If he like you, he will call you.
Yes.
Exactly. That's what happened. When they finish their contract, I say, now you just keep hanging in there because you just have to finish. Just you compromise yourself in this year contract. Just you already signed it. Just finish. For the next year, when he hire you, he want to hire you. You just do it and tell them, this is what I want. And they want to hire, and they tell me, they call me and say, Ricardo, if they want to hire me, I say, okay, from that point, this is what you have to raise. And he will pay you. I told them, I guarantee you he will pay you. And when they opened a few months ago, in the beginning, I think last year, they hired them. And they wrote it to me and said, Ricardo, thank you. I say, no, thanks me. Thank yourself, because you give a respect to yourself, not to me, just to yourself. Because when he call you back and you standing on your feet and say, okay, you want me? This is what I want right now. He say, okay, let's meet in the middle. He don't pay you what you was before. He raised the money, and now you feel more valuable. Yes. And that is what you raise your standard. And for me, I feels good because I help you, and your standard they level up. And for me, it's good.
Yeah, it's
maybe you don't make it what I say before, but at least you make a decent money, not like you was before that you was unsatisfied, yeah, unmotivated. You was a little sad because I saw them. And I say, well, that's what people say here in America. You have to pay the floor. And you did. Okay, 1 year, it's okay. But it's a lot of more year to come.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that he stand up and, and give a raise for himself, and sadly they took and say, okay. And for me, I say, good for you. Yeah, believe me. Every time, like you say before, Shenea, like you say before, it was really good that this pandemic, they hit everybody, because now we are together, we are unified. But as soon as they start adjusting, people's going to stay on their own, because the young generation now, just because we used to be before, we just want to show what we're doing, and we just want to work in here, work in there. They work for whatever price they pay. Yeah. And that we cannot compete with those young generation.
No.
Like here in Miami. Here in Miami, I don't have to tell you, you already know. Anybody can go work for just a little bit of money, like you can even fill your gas tank. But those people, they work for that.
Yep.
Believe
just
me.
To work.
And then like when the 11 they open, they call me. I was in Europe, in Amsterdam, in Holland, and they offer me to go there, and they pay some funny money, and I say, I don't work for that. And when the El Tucan, another cabaret, they open, I say, they used to pay like, believe me, $150 a night. And when they call me and say, come on, I don't do that. No, but this is what we pay. I say, well, this is what you pay for. Everybody make it this. Where I say, well, I tell you this. I am not everybody. You call me, right? I say, you call me. I remember it was the manager, it was a African-American guy, and he said to me, oh, this is what we pay. I say, well, this is what you pay to them, but not what you are paid to me. And I say, if you want me to go there, he say, oh, you have to come and do an audition. I say, I don't do audition. I go there like this. I say, I go there, I do my performance. You pay me this amount. And when I finish, you hand it over the check to me. And if you don't like it, it's no hard feeling. I swear to God, I say like this. It's no hard feeling. I took my prop, I set it down, 30 minutes to my house. I say, I drive it 30 minutes to my house. No hard feeling. I swear to God. And he looked at me like this. And he say, who are you? I say, who am I?
I'm Ricardo Sosa.
I'm Ricardo Sosa. Yeah. Believe me, I say, I'm Ricardo Sosa.
Yeah, that's who I am.
He went there. He called the owner of the Tucan, and he say, whatever he say, blah, 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 blah. But the owner, they already know me.
Of course.
They saw me over there in Germany.
Of course.
And
I have same situations.
Was a really good friend of the Crazy Horse in Paris. They was together. They saw me. I have an opportunity to go to Crazy Horse. And he told Mike, the owner from Tucan, about me. And I did not know. And then the guy, the manager, he came and he said, okay, Mike say that you can perform today. And I say, well, let me break it down for you. You pay the parking and you pay everything. And when I finish, and he say, no, we're gonna pay you for tonight, what you say, and we're gonna pay the parking. And Mike said, it's okay. I did my performance. When I finished, they all watching me. I finished. I went to the dressing room. I took my prop, and he came to me and I say, Ricardo, Mike say that you can stay the whole 3 days, because I remember that time they used to perform Thursday, Friday, Saturday, only 3 days. And he said to me, tomorrow in the morning and talk to him, he want to have a meeting with you in his office. And I said, okay, I come tomorrow and I talk to him. I did my audition, pay my audition. Next day in the morning, I went 10 in the morning over there. I have a meeting with him and he say, okay, Ricardo, I know you and we're glad to have you. We're gonna offer you 1 year contract. And I say, thank you. Imagine if I took the $150 like everybody take. Right. And I was the only one that have a 1 year contract. And they pay me the ballet parking and everything. And all the performers, they say, oh, why they treat this guy so special? I say, oh, they don't treat me special.
I wonder why. It's not special. It should be the standard. It's the standard that they should be treating. But everybody thinks that it's special. When you don't know what the deal is, you think that everything is special.
Yeah, and I say, I remember that I have a friend that he was over there and he always tried to find how much money I make. I say, oh, how much money you make? I say, oh, I make he's a Cuban. I say, 30 pesos cubano, 30 Cuban pesos. I just, no, but tell me how much money you make. I say, 30 Cuban pesos. Why do you want to know? That's what I make there. I say, this is a secret. You have to keep your income on your own, but no, because people treat you completely different. I say, no, they don't treat me different. I just tell them who I am.
Yeah.
And if I respect myself, they will respect me.
Yes.
Because if I take what everybody take, I'm one more of the group. But if I take what I deserve, it treat me completely different because they value my personality, my performance, my standard, and the reputation that I bring from so many years is behind my back. Yes. It's not because I'm hungry and I want to work.
Right.
No.
Right.
Like I said before, it happened to me with Circus Soleil. And if I was hungry and if I was, ambition to work and to get Circus Soleil on my resume, I would take it before, but I was not hungry. I found that all those years that Circus Soleil, it doesn't mean nothing on my resume.
Mm-hmm.
It was something that I idealized on my brain because it was a nice company. It was a beautiful. But I've been, like you say, some of the companies are really good, so very important, so traditional, so history in the whole circus world, in the entertainment, that it feels equal. It feels equal. For me, I say, I can live another, 35-year career without Circus Soleil. But don't get me wrong, I used to love it and I love it. But if it's not, it's not. If it is, it is. But give me what I deserve, not what you want. Not after all those years that I've been, sacrifice myself and dedicating myself like I'm a vegan. And all this has been in discipline to maintain my career. Because I tell you this, some of my friends, they say, Ricardo, you don't like to eat meat. I say, I love it. I like to eat ice cream and I like to eat all the Cuban pastry. And I like to drink it once in a time, one beer. But I don't, because, when I perform and I take in my shirt and the people see my belly is really big, they're going to say, the first thing they're going to say, oh, Ricardo don't look the same like before. And then when I stand up and say, no, I want this, they're going to say, you don't look the same, Ricardo.
Right.
You cannot ask them for that because your level before it was here, now is here.
Right.
But if I keep in my level right here, people have to listen what I say. And
because
when I take it, exactly. And when I took my shirt off doing my performance, I don't feel like ashamed or embarrassed to feel my belly flopping, it feels, it's true. I feels like, okay, I'm 56, but I still looking
amazing. You're still looking absolutely amazing. And
thank you.
It's a good lesson, Ricardo. There's so much that we are learning in this episode from you. Like, thank you for all of this brilliant wisdom, because it's so important to hear it from your perspective, because these are the lessons that not everybody gets access to and not everybody gets the opportunity to learn. Like you're saying too, like the integrity of your career over the years, it's your instrument is your body. And your reputation in that way and your dignity through that is everything, and how you represent yourself. And I've been told that the same too many times, like, wow, you look the same. It must be so easy for you. And I say, no, I have discipline and I'm strategic and I care. That's why I look the way that I do. And that's why I can still perform the way that I do. And I'm very sensitive to that. And that's also something that
you look amazing too.
Thank you.
Yeah, you look amazing. I see you doing things with Michael. I see you doing things with Michael, and I say, wow, Michael playing with Shenea like nothing, because Michael's really strong. Michael's really, really strong. And I say, with the control that you have, Michael, they can play with you like a feather. And you can do everything like you and your handstand can. Because he's so strong, I'm telling you, he's so strong. I know him from, I met Michael and his partner, Vita, and all his two working partner when he came for the first time to Teatro Cinzano.
The Petit Frère.
The Petit Frère. They used to start practicing. Sometimes Vita was practicing next to me, and I give a lot of advice. She was younger, just graduated from the Circus School, and I always tell her, oh, just do it this way, do it this. And I show her many things about flexibility. You get more flexible. And they always say, I used to speak Russian. I still speak a little bit. And they say, how do you learn how to speak Russian? I say, my teacher was Russian and everything, and I say, everything that I can show you for me is good because you're a new generation. You just come just to work and you're hungry just like I was. What am I have to keep it all for me? I just shared everything, Every day she just came, can I practice with you? I say, yes, you're very welcome. Come here, come. And just start doing handstand. It was really nice, For me, like I say, Michael, they grew up, they was already have a really nice career, really good over there in Europe. But they created another career here, another platform here. And for him and all his partner and Bita, look at what they're doing right now. They not go to Europe anymore, just stay in here.
20
just
years
go
in
back
America.
And forth. And just go
20 years with Zinzani.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah,
I know. And they created their own path in their own way too. And, I'm always inspired to experience everyone's stories and to share them because again, there's not one way to do it. There's not one path for your career. And also too, some new performers that did come to America and fought so hard to make your career here. You fought so hard, Ricardo, to make your career here. Michael, Vita, people that came through and came into the circuit here, found their way. And I remind people, it didn't just come from nothing. You didn't just come and show up and get a job and then just stay. Like you have fought for every single ounce of your career and you've maintained the integrity of your career. That is not easy to do. Not everybody can do that. People also too don't understand it's a very small percentage of people that maintain their career on this level and in this way with this level of respect. And it comes back to what you were saying about Cirque du Soleil. Companies like that need to respect that. They need to honor that. They need to understand that. And then the rest of the business also too, we need, I think, to get the integrity back because there is so much now that people will just do circus for whatever. And they have forgotten how hard different artists have worked to make an independent career. And you're such a testament to that, Ricardo. You didn't stay with a troupe, which again, nothing bad about that. But there is also something different of being independent and striking out on your own and being able to have a career like that. It's not easy. It takes a lot of effort, a lot of dedication, and a lot of knowledge, a lot of wisdom that you've implemented, and then the wisdom that you're sharing here too. But I definitely want to see a circus industry that changes. I want more rights for circus artists, and I want rights that help artists in ways that they don't even know that they need. And I think that we need to see that within circus now because there is so much there. There's so much that these different companies don't understand or that they don't want to honor. And I think it's important that we have something in place, some kind of structure that helps our environment move forward so that we can protect artists from themselves and also too showing them the way forward in how you can have a contract that is equal, that is equitable. It doesn't matter what country you come from. There's even a show right now in Vegas that just opened and they've been very exploitive. And everyone's very unhappy there. They're not treating them well, but it's a beautiful show. It's open for everyone on the outside. It must look very fancy and very, glamorous. But on the inside, it's not going so well. It's not going so well. And there's no one to fight for the artists in that show. You know what the only thing they can do is they can either leave or they can leave because there is no one that's going to fight on their behalf at this point. The ones that have come from different countries that are here on specific visas that can only make a certain amount of money, which is exploitive. They cannot do anything because they don't know where to go, who to help them. Again, they don't understand all of their rights, or again, they don't want to push because they're just finally having their first experience here in America, and it's Las Vegas. And I think it's important to put it in perspective. And I just love what you did for the Cuban artists that you saw that they didn't understand. And then speaking to the Ethiopian artists and helping them to understand like what decisions they can make for the next time. I always tell artists, maybe they got you once, but don't let them get you twice. It doesn't matter what you did before. You don't have to stay in that same space, and you can change and evolve anytime that you want if you have new information to be able to fight for your career in a better way. So I thank you so much, Ricardo, for coming on to the podcast. You shared so much incredible wisdom. Like, I could just talk to you for hours because you have so much experience. Again, I've been looking to you for so many years, so inspired by you, so honored by you. And I know that everybody already knows you. So again, I don't have to say so much, but for those who don't know, this is Ricardo Sosa. He is legendary. He's a Cuban American handbalancer, contortionist. He is fabulous. He is in a genre all of his own. He teaches, he is an inventor. He makes circus equipment also. He has patents. He's an entrepreneur. He's going to be on Shark Tank. He's going to win. He's going to get all of those brilliant things. He continues and has changed the game, and you have really shaped this environment in this market in your own way, Ricardo, which again, I really, really very strongly believe in that because my career has been very similar. And I have also followed that blueprint of not staying just stuck in one place and not feeling like I couldn't spread my wings and do all sorts of different kinds of circus, because the circus world is big and there's even more opportunity coming. But in front of that, we need to make sure that it's an equitable environment and that it's equal and that it's fair. And again, you've seen it from even 35 years ago, Ricardo, and you see that we still have a long way to go in making that happen, because even in 2022, we're still seeing people fighting against that and people, not feeling like they need to respect caliber and that they need to respect, the history of your career. But it does matter. It does matter how long you've been around. It does matter who you've worked with. It does matter that people know you. It does matter the standard that you keep. That matters. And that shouldn't be degraded within this circus environment, no matter how interesting or flashy the contract looks. That means nothing. And so I bless you, Ricardo. Thank you again for coming on and being so generous and being so open and being so honest.
So my pleasure.
I honor you and I adore you. Again,
it's all my pleasure. And all I can say is thank you. And I'm really happy and I'm glad that you took your time to talk a little bit with this old guy.
You're so beautiful. I just want to end this podcast with just a little shout out of the Live Like an Acrobat podcast. It is also available on Circus Talk, the inclusive, independent, and international online network for the circus industry. Circus Talk's mission is to create a level playing field for this industry and democratize access to information. Until next time, everyone, please stay safe and stay healthy. Thank you so much for joining us on the Live Like an Acrobat podcast. I'm your host, Shenea Stiletto.